Good afternoon, everyone. This is Woody Collins with Congo Helping Hands, and we are here for another episode, the 105th, that is, of talking about Congo. And today we have a couple exciting subjects here. Uh, One, we're going to talk about malaria. So, if you don't know much about malaria, we will kind of give you a quick education in it, and we're going to talk about it. Then the second thing we're going to do is talk about a case that I just heard about in the Congo involving a European coming back to Congo to do some work, and they potentially, uh, you know, I don't know if they brought back the the COVID virus, but they tested positive. So it just gives you kind of questions as to what's going on. Okay, malaria. It's a plasmodium parasite that attacks your blood system in your blood, and it attaches to liver and infects all kinds of stuff like that. But it is caused by an infection of from mosquitoes. And so in the United States, it's very rare. We only have about 20,000 cases a year, where probably in the Congo, they have that in a day. It's very what they call endemic to Congo. Also, it's treatable if you have professional. You can get to the doctor and get the medicine. It's also short term, meaning say it only lasts a few days or weeks, but the symptoms are very interesting. The symptoms are chills, fevers, and sweating. And I have seen that happen when I've been in the Congo and been around my roommate who has had malaria, and he calls out, "Hey, bring me a blanket, bring me some extra sheets." So, uh, but if you don't treat it, it becomes deadly. So when he has malaria, he takes some quinine combos that they sell. That's I would say relatively cheap. But most of the people in the Congo, they do not take a preventative medicine. When I go over, I take doxycycline, which is a preventative, and also there is another one called Malaron, which is the prescribed one that most doctors uh, give you to take now. Both the doxycycline and the Malaron you take daily, so you have to remember every day to take your pill. Uh, then they had one in the past. They had was called Larium, and Larium is one of those that you take once a week. And when I first took Larium, I had these weird dreams, and I never equated it to the to the Larium, until about 3 years later, when somebody mentioned it to me, that it causes, these anxiety attacks, really weird dreams. So, what about malaria? It's endemic in the Congo, and it lasts about from January to December. So that's the whole year. That's why they call it endemic. You can catch it at any time, but it's most prevalent during the rainy seasons. And Congo has two rainy seasons. They're about a month, a little over a month into one of the rainy seasons now. And so therefore you see the malaria cases really picking up. And that's what brought it to my attention. Was I was talking to my colleagues in the Congo, and they said, "Oh yeah, I think I had malaria, and I had to take some medicine." Talked to another colleague, he had malaria and he was feeling down for a few days, and I'm sure he was taking his medicine, but it kind of knocks you out for a couple weeks, a week. You're really tired. You have these chills. You don't feel like doing anything, and so, but at least, in most cases, people get past it pretty good. Uh, so during the dry seasons, you don't have as much malaria as possible as doing because the mosquitoes are scarce. They're not being produced that much. But in Congo, when it rains, water pools, and you just have a lot of mosquitoes everywhere. So the only way you can prevent it is there's no such vaccine, so you can't prevent it by taking a vaccine once a year, or twice a year, or whatever the case, once every 2 years or 3 years. The only thing you can do is take the medicine, like I mentioned, the uh, either the Malaron, or you can take doxycycline, and that's what I take, and I haven't had malaria in all the 20 some years that I've went over there and been there during rainy seasons and also during the dry season. And also you can sleep under a mosquito net uh, because the mosquitoes that give you malaria, they typically come out at night. So, you get bit by mosquitoes during the day. However, those mosquitoes don't have the malaria that will infect you. So, because I've been bit many a times during the day, and because I forget to put on my uh, mosquito repellent, and next thing I know, I get bit on the arm or get bit behind the neck or someplace like that. But how deadly is it? Uh, it is really deadly to children under 5 years old. About 19% of the children who, when they catch malaria under 5 years old, it results in death. So it's one of the leading cause of death throughout the country, not only with the children, but also with adults, because even adults may fare a lot better. Uh, it can kill them if it goes untreated, or if your system just kind of gets overloaded and you come down with it. But in addition to killing you, to show you how prevalent it is, 40% of the cases that show up in clinics and hospital have malaria. And it's not, that's 40%, and that's for the people who go to the hospital. There's a lot of people don't even go to the hospital that, in the clinics or something, they don't realize you have malaria. So it's something that you really need to take care of, and even like one of uh, the taking of the medicine, you have to take it at least maybe 3 days before you go, so it builds up in your system, and you have to take it for 30 days after you come back, because uh, the it's fighting potential malaria for 30 days after you come back from the Congo. Okay, so that's malaria, and so right now it's really in high gear in the Congo. Second thing I want to talk about is a case that I found out about, uh, and it involves one European supervisor and also his four Congolese uh, uh, team members. The European had just recently come back from Europe, and he came in, gathered his team. They worked for a little while in Kinshasa, uh, and they came out to out to Kananga. And while in Kananga, I think one of them must have came down with it, or they did a routine test out there, and they found out that they were positive for COVID-19. So they rushed them out of town, got them back up to Kinshasa, but the the whole thing happens is uh, who all who all did they infect when they became when it before the test. So it brings up the question of where and when were they infected. Was it the European team leader who came back? Was he the one that brought it back in, or did he pick it up in Kinshasa when he got back? Did it pick it up from one of his teammates, his team members that are Congolese that may be younger and asymptomatic? It just all kinds of questions. But it brings up the question of, you really need to test as much as possible because you don't know when you're going to run into it, how you're going to get it. You can do all the precautions that you think you're taking, but that the people you're working with may not have any of the cases. Where mostly over in the Congo, they take temperatures, and so if they scan you for a temperature and you don't have a temperature, you still could have the be infected with COVID-19 and just don't show a temperature. The temperature is not a uh, is is not always prevalent. So therefore, you could have it. So in this case, it just brings up all kinds of questions. And for me personally, I would hate to go over to the Congo and all of a sudden while I'm over there, somebody I'm working with come get sick, or I get sick, and then the first thing that's going to happen is that would he bring the COVID-19 over here with him? Did he, that would be the first suggestion, because we have more uh, COVID cases in America, and so they would probably say, "Oh, you brought it with you," and so either you lied on having a test and you wasn't, didn't test properly or whatever, or you paid off the testers to test you before you came over. All kinds of stuff could happen. So, you know, so for me, just to stay out of those situations, I'm going to kind of hang around here and then only go after things calm down here in the United States a little bit, probably after we get a vaccine out and I can get vaccinated and stuff like that. So it's just kind of one of those things that's unfortunate, but knowing that when people went to the Congo, that's how it first got there, was returning Europeans, people who had stayed in Europe for a while, picked it up and brought it back to Congo. And that's where, there's been known to happen. And that's why you have so many cases in Kinshasa, which is the international hub for most of Congo when people come in. So leaving it on that, I would say, as always, thank you for coming by. Thank you for, if you're looking at this on a broadcast replay, thank you for listening. But also, you can leave your comments, and we can get, if you have questions or comments, please leave those. Please like it, if you like it, please say so with a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Congo Helping Hands in both YouTube and Facebook. And we would like to say at this time, take care of yourself, take care of your family, be safe, and be blessed. And we will see you tomorrow.